Welcome to Talk Time, where this week, as you may have noticed, I'm very tidy. I've shaved, I've even shaved my ears, I've cut my nails, I put on some moisturizer, and there's a very good reason for that, because this week we are reviewing something which requires a little bit more class. This is the BMW K1600 GT SE, or as I like to call it, the big white heffalump. This is all about bigness. It's big numbers for this motorcycle. This is £23,000 plus another £2,000 for this phenomenal pearlescent mineral white metallic paintwork, which is actually an M car color, and that brings the price of this bike up, including the touring and comfort package, to £25,000. Comfort package includes Gear Shift Assist Pro. It includes anti-theft alarm, which of course you can't see, and central locking. The touring package gives you this phenomenal audio system, and then round and down we have these engine protection bars on the side and a pair of LED additional driving lights. We'll begin with the front end, coming down here to a 17-inch cast road wheel. It's running Michelin Road 6 GTs, and the front is a 120/70/17. We are also running 320mm floating discs with a BMW's own branded flavor 4-pot caliper. Of course, they are on both sides. You need that kind of stopping power. Unique to this bike is this massive dual lever front end with a single spring. This is like some enormous gargantuan tuning fork, which is doing all the work of keeping this wheel and tire in connection with the road, with the mass of this bike sitting on top of it. Front end has semi-active damping. It also has automatic preload settings, and new for 2022 is self-leveling. We're going to have a look at these phenomenal LED headlights. These are fantastic. You've got a daytime riding light signature, and these are active headlights which will level up and down, and also they will point and corner in the direction that you are traveling, which is a brilliant feature. Brilliant. These are set into this fantastic aerodynamic front end with a huge screen there. This is an electric screen. The aerodynamics of this bike are so efficient at ensconcing you in an aerodynamic bubble that should you ever find yourself in the south of France, and of course you will because this is designed to cover distance, that BMW know that you will cook because there's no air at all coming up at you or over you. So they have designed this, the unique patented Das Winden flappers. That's not the proper name, they're not Winden flappers, that's not German. But look at that, they actually are designed to interrupt the slipstream and direct wind from outside of the bike up and over the rider to keep you crisp and cool. The frame continues this theme. This is a cast aluminium twin spar. You can see the size and quality of this buffed welding, and nestling, if you can call it that, is this incredible 649cc 6-cylinder inline 24-valve liquid-cooled BMW monstrosity. Continuing with those massive numbers, this is good for 158 brake horsepower, 155 miles an hour, and 133 foot-pounds of torque. 133 foot-pounds of torque. This could pull a caravan. Not that you will be the kind of person that even knows what a caravan is, because this is luxury traveling. In here is all the literage you need to store your crap, and mine is packed full. We've got these two beautifully designed 3-into-2 exhausts, which should allow some of that 6-cylinder sound to come through. And at the back, we've got a 17-inch wheel running a 190/55/17 tire. All of this is held together, just about, by a massive braced single-sided paralever rear end with a single spring, and also semi-active suspension and automatic preload, again with the self-leveling system that we spoke about at the front. Bringing all this to a halt is a token appearance from a Brembo 4-pot caliper, and that's gripping a 320mm disc. So what you're wondering about, of course, is toys. What kind of toys do you get for your £25,000? Well, the answer is you get them all. This is keyless, single press on, keyless fuel tank. You have your central locking, you have your riding modes. On this bike, they are road, they are dynamic, and of course they are rain. We have SOS function, which we could go into deeper further on. We've got a 10.25-inch TFT screen, which makes everything else look like it belongs in the dark ages. Left-hand side, we have R. That's our reverse, so you can actually stop having to paddle this bike backwards. You've got your LED driving lights, you have cruise control, you have automatic lights, you have, ta-da, an electric screen. You have a special pocket in here for your mobile phone, which you can tuck away, allows the navigation. On this screen you have, done it again, oh bastard. On this screen you have my vehicle, you have a radio, you have navigation, you have media, you have telephone, and best of all, one of my favorite features, instead of just having to have a full screen, you can press and hold this, and you can have split screen with trip computer, and of course, radio, navigation showing is 1/3 of the screen. It's a fantastic thing, really is, right of this time. So this is all fine and well in the studio. However, what does that equate to in the real world out there? I think we should go somewhere extremely posh and find out. Morning, George. Morning, Alfred. So, the Viscount room, Melville Castle Hotel, our very K1600. Ah, perfect. Polished, dusted, ready to go. One of the best night's sleep I've had in a while. I wonder who's got my jacket. Ah, of course. Perfect, fabulous beast. How incredibly convenient this entire expedition is. So that's me fed, and that's me found. And the only decent thing to do at this point is get out there and crush a few continents. So the way that this bike produces speed right from the get-go, it's almost comedy. It's like the Starship Enterprise. Everything just starts coming towards you. Effortless. So does it belong on a motorway? No, not really. I'm not convinced at all that's its natural habitat. Here's one of those caravans we mentioned. You certainly won't be staying in that. So this thing basically
pops you into this big bubble where you can see everything ahead. You're absolutely comfortable, cosseted almost. The wind's not touching you. Set the cruise control, lovely. Hands can wave around if you need them to. Things are not moving particularly quickly at all. Where do you start with this bike? The only place you can really start is the same place that you're going to finish, and that's with the engine. In a way, this bike is a big white elephant. Its story is all about being a big white elephant. A big white elephant usually means something that people no longer want. It's unloved and it's redundant, done with. And to many people, the K1600 is just such a thing. What do you do with a 350 kilogram touring bike? Indeed, the whole category of touring bikes has to some extent all but disappeared. I've grown up with adventure bikes, and to many the perception is that an adventure bike is doing exactly what this bike is doing, but better and with more breadth, because you can go off-road. And that's true. It's not the whole truth, but it's true. What if you don't actually want to go off-road? What if you have no ambitions whatsoever to go up the side of that hill, and all you want to do is go places where they have tarmac? Then this is something of an overlooked gem. I say overlooked. If you know what it's all about, then please excuse me, because I've overlooked it. I see them sitting in showrooms, I see the price tag, I see the size of it, and think, nah, not for me. It's not my kind of thing. And today, I've absolutely had to change my mind. Did I mention the engine? It's a treasure. Who doesn't want a car engine in a motorcycle? And not even a small car engine. A big car engine. 6 cylinders. It pulls in any gear. 133 foot-pounds of torque. It just means that there is an effortless, almost a laziness to the way this bike delivers. I'm changing up and down the box with a seamless quick shifter. It's a lovely, lovely piece of equipment, the quick shifter. But I don't really need to. I could actually just stay in fifth, and it will happily pull me through all of this. So that would suggest it's got a great engine. One-trick pony. It's not. It's just not. If you show this thing a straight line, it will just hoover it up. It's a straight line hoover. The way this must cover motorway miles, autobahns, long, long distances, the kind of things when you're genuinely tired, you've been on the road for hours, the weather's not great. Little things like this electric screen. It's doing everything I need it to do. If I lower that screen, can you hear the increase in wind noise that I'm actually having to run through? I can feel that on my neck, on my face, on my cheeks. But if I just lift that to the right position, whew, it's almost like being in a library. And I'm traveling. Yes, it is big and heavy. No, you absolutely do not feel any of that when you're on the road. As soon as this thing's moving, it's like it's on its tippy toes. Can't remember which elephant it was, there was a ballerina. Must have been a Disney. It's always a Disney. This is that elephant. It's an elephant in a tutu. Back to the engine. You can't ever get away from the engine. As soon as you fire the bike up, it sounds like no other motorcycle you've ever ridden. In fact, it sounds so much better than many cars. And then when you wind it on, it's absolutely delightful. I would say it roars. It holds a line. And you have odd questions going on in your mind, which you can answer by glancing down at the screen. Is my luggage safe? Mid-corner? No, it's not, because I haven't centrally locked my panniers. And if I had the £1,000 optional top box, oh my goodness, that's not locked either. But it is now. It's also reassuring. Look, it's locked, it's safe. My carefully folded casual clothes, which I will need when I arrive at my next fine hotel with delightful beds and delicious dining. We're going to need that. We're going to need a pair of soft loafers, some designer jeans, and a carefully pressed shirt. Well, it's all fine. So I like the screen. I love the engine. I can't quite believe the display. I've not seen anything like it, except on the RT. It's in a class of its own. It's so clear, it's got everything you could need to see, all of the information you require is right there. A slight anomaly with BMWs, or a slight anomaly with this BMW, is ordinarily the GSs, the GS Adventures, the XR, S1000R, they have a sweet spot whereby if you flick them into dynamic pretty quickly on a dry day, you'll find where the bike wants to be. The suspension's working well, it's not too soft, it's not too hard. Dynamic is generally on a BMW the Goldilocks setting, but not on this one. If I flick it into dynamic, which we can do on the move, it kind of feels artificially stiff. The front almost becomes rigid. All of the compliance goes out of the suspension. I don't know, it feels too solid, like it's on stilts. The connection with the road is lost. And I don't like what the front end's doing. It's almost as if it's picking up artificially information that you don't need to feel, and you just don't need. So for me, the sweet spot is road. You could flick the rest of the bike into dynamic and have a dynamic throttle, dynamic ABS settings, and just override the road setting so the suspension's soft. But that's really not what this bike is about. I don't know why I changed down. I absolutely did not. This bike is about the way it effortlessly covers ground, and it's good fun too. It's lovely carrying this kind of speed, carrying this kind of a flow. I'll tell you what, this big heffalump should not lay itself over on its elephantine, that's not an easy word, on its elephantine ear quite as easily as it does. It's very keen to go across onto the side of the tyre. There's a part of you which is nervous, thinking 450 kilos on a contact patch that's no bigger than the palm of my hand. It's not comfortable. It's not a bike to think about. The more you think about it, the more it will make no sense at all. But if you just get on and ride it and feel what it's doing and giving you in the way of feedback, It's an absolute treasure. I can understand why touring bikes became a thing. And it's a damn shame that by and large, like the dinosaurs they are, they've largely disappeared. Because there is so much to like about this bike. 20, as they say, is plenty. And yeah, there we go. Let me level with you. I am not crushing continents really today. They'll only let me have this splendid piece of BMW for a day. But you could. You can easily get pulled into this bike and it's magic. It's got a charm. You can see why people would just get on, pack stuff and go. And then keep going. And then go some more. It's the kind of bike you need a lot of time off for. Because it will always be too soon to come home. A lot of bikes, including the adventure bikes, it's kind of a challenge. When you get hold of them, you get on and you have to dominate it. You have to master the bike. It's all about riding the bike as quick as you can go and showing what you can do. Here's a straight. Oh no, here's a straight. Do not look at the speedometer because here is a straight. It just can't help it. It's a big straight line hoover. It's hoovering. It's nothing to do with me. I'm just carried away by it. Right, shouldn't be too many more of those. And don't get too set on a lack of Brembos or anything nonsensical like that. These big 320mm discs and the BMW branded calipers are absolutely up to the job. They haul this thing like a super tanker to some kind of a stop. I've really rather fallen for this. I didn't want to. It's too big and impractical. But it shimmies. Anyway, before the straight, we were touching on, or I was touching on, motorcycles and what they ask of you. So part of the motorcycling is the motorcycle, and part of the motorcycling is about you. What you're getting, what you want, what you're having to put in, and what you're getting in return. This does not ask a lot. A big, comfortable, padded, heated seat, heated grips, all of the toys that I'm not using. I don't need a radio on a bike. I don't actually use a radio in my car. So a lot of these functions are largely superfluous. I know we all like to ride along, listen to tunes right now, but I don't even listen to tunes. I need the phone for navigation. Not on this road, because it's only going to wherever it ends. You can't get tired of that. You really cannot get tired of that noise. Ah. If you were riding the engine and nothing else. I do hope that you can hear that. It's all about the flow. And this thing flows beautifully, beautifully, beautifully down a road. You cannot ask for more for something this size. In fact, it does things something this size really never should, never could. And if it wasn't for modern engineering, never would. up a gear just to hear it roar. What a delight. I'm smitten. £25,000 is an annual salary, no doubt about it, it really is. But what a way to blow it. And if it's my annual salary, then that's before tax. Fantastic.
What a fantastic day with this incredible top-of-the-range BMW K1600 GT SE. It's a phenomenal thing, it really is. This engine is just a masterpiece. It's a creamy, smooth six-cylinder that's more creamy and smooth than a custard surfer, which is pretty creamy and pretty smooth. I'm done for the day. I've explored, I've been here, I've been there, and now I'm going to stay here at the Dalhousie Castle Hotel, where I have a spa, a hot stone massage, and I think we'll just let somebody else park the bike.